What's up, Femme House fam? It is Her Mix-a-Lot. We're here with DJ Mish. DJ Mish, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Tell me about your artistic journey, like what led you to this moment and time to be here with me on Femme House Radio.
Wow, where do I begin? It's been a long journey for sure. I think, I started when it started when I was a little kid. I've always loved music. Always been around music, singing in the car with my parents, like Queen and Eagles. Um, and then learning piano as a kid for like 10 years. And so I've always been around music throughout my whole life. And, once I got into college, that was when, EDM music was like popping off, festivals, Steve Aoki, Zed, they were like, um, and then that was when I was really like, oh, I was like really exposed to that culture. And I saw what it could do to make people happy, like bringing people together through that type of music. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. I want to bring people happiness through music.
Joy and
So
community via music, huh?
exactly, exactly. So I started looking into like taking DJ lessons, and then I was like, just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And then so I started DJing, and then after I started, at first I was like, oh, maybe this could be a hobby, on the side, and like before you know it, like it was like the only thing I wanted to do. Like nothing else made me happier than playing music and receiving that feedback, just seeing how music can change a person's mood. Like some people would come up to me and they would be like, "Oh, like I was having such a bad day, but then I came to your set and now it's like it's turned around." And I was like, that's what makes me the happiest. So it just kept me going until like till now. Like I moved halfway across the world for DJing. So yeah,
I was
it's been
I was gonna
crazy.
I was gonna ask about that. So you're from Taiwan, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
So
I was born and raised.
so were you experiencing like when you first were like I need to DJ? Were you experiencing sort of like the dance music scene and DJ culture in Taiwan?
Yes, yes.
How's
So
it
that's
different than
where
here?
it's very different actually. I feel like here people see music as like a everyday thing, like it just so closely intertwined in the culture. And but I feel like in Taiwan at least, like it's very much like something that is like an extracurricular. Like
Okay.
it's something that like people that are more privileged, like they could send their kids to music lessons and stuff like that. And it is more a means of like, oh, because if you play music or if you play such and such instruments, it will look better on your like academic resume or
Ah, I
something like
see,
that,
I
So it was
see.
like it's more of like that. It's not like, oh, we listen to music because we love to dance and it's just part of our life, da da da. It's less like that, I think, just culture wise. So it's definitely like a little bit of a difference. And then when I moved here, it was definitely very eye-opening for sure, like how closely everyone values music. And so it's mainly one of the reasons why I love it here too. I was like, oh, people here are like so open and they love music. Like I'm here to stay.
Sure. You said that you fell in love with music like right away, playing piano and listening to your parents' music. How did they react to you not just like doubling down on being a DJ, but like moving across the world to do it?
I mean, honestly, my parents have always been like pretty supportive, I would say. Like, I have the best parents in the world. Like, when people hear how my parents are, they're like, your parents are not Asian. Like, they're like, there's no way they're Asian. These are not Asian parents. They definitely like don't fit the stereotype. They're like super open and supportive. But when I did when I moved here and then after like a couple of years, I told them like, hey, I think I want to stay like longer even. They were a little worried, I'm not gonna lie, because they were like, how are you gonna survive out there? It's like our little girl's out there all by herself. Um, But I assured them, I was like, you know what, like I've given myself a timeline, and by this year, like I think it was like back in 2022, I was like, by 2022, if I don't make it, I'll pack up and like go home. Like if I can't survive off, music. And
I
they're
think
like,
you've done
okay.
more than survive.
Yeah.
It's been you're a decade in. You played Coachella twice. The last of
Yeah.
which was just what, last month, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, last month in April, which I just feel so blessed. Like I all the way here, like I when I look back at what I was telling my parents, I was like, "Oh, if I can't survive, I'm gonna like pack up and move back to Taiwan, so don't worry." And they were like, "All right." And now look at me. Like I'm doing way bigger things and cooler things than 10 years ago me would have never imagined.
Are they so proud? Like, are they in
Yeah.
like disbelief still?
Yeah, they're actually like really proud. And even like my mom the other day, she saw this magazine that she subscribed to, and like a paper magazine, and then she saw that there was an interview of another DJ in there. Not gonna name names, but like she was like she screenshot it to me, and she was like, "How come this DJ is on the magazine? I think you're way cooler than him. Like we should interview you. Like my daughter is way cooler." And I was like, "Okay, mom, chill." Like,
Your biggest fan, huh?
yeah, literally. So it's been very sweet to see.
That's really awesome. Tell me about, I mean, you're honestly like my favorite type of DJ. I obviously interview a lot of DJs, and everybody's just like, I'm a dance music DJ. But my favorite DJs are the types of DJs that can play any place, anytime, any genre of music. I know you do weddings, you do corporate. You're doing Coachella, you're doing all kinds of stuff. You went viral after playing Dodger Stadium last summer. Like,
Yeah.
what? Tell us what's the vibe? What's your sort of let's say philosophical approach to DJing?
I mean, for me, like, I've always been a very, how should I say, like, ever since, like, in my childhood, throughout my whole life, one of my biggest joys is when I feel like I've made a lasting impact on other people, whether that is through, like, teaching, like, I used to teach English when I was in Taiwan, like, and then I started DJing. I think the running theme is that when I feel like I've made a difference in other people's lives, like I turned their day around, even just
Yeah.
for 5 minutes, I made them forget that they were sad. Like that matters. That means so much to me. And like, me doing weddings, like I'm here to celebrate love, like any type of
Yeah.
love. Like love is love, like I'm here to be a part of your celebration. I'm here to make your wedding day the best day of your life, celebrating your love with your loved ones. Like I'm such a big advocate and a fan of the love in the room. And I just want to do that like with music. Like I want to bring happiness and joy and peace and whatever it is, like to people, and bringing them together and create memories that like will last. I think that's one of my biggest things. Yeah.
What's it feel like? I mean, I'm hearing like, you sort of named in the beginning of our chat that like what drew you to this
Hmm.
scene is like the joy, the community, the love that you felt.
Yeah.
And now that you are here where you are and you're providing that to, fans of yours, to new fans of yours, to people that are
Mhm.
maybe seeing you for the first time, what's it feel like to know that like you've got this like through line of like joy, that like this like little bit of joy, this spark of joy that inspired you to follow your dreams and travel the world and do all these things, that like now you could possibly be that for somebody else that sees you.
It feels amazing. Like I think one of the things that I've struggled with a lot in this industry and also in this day and age is like how to stay true to myself and not get distracted by the follower accounts,
Yeah.
like the social media. Like, is my calendar stacked? Like that.
Yeah.
I think that's such a big struggle because you're seeing all of these, especially after the pandemic, right? I see all of these like TikTok DJs, they're having like 500K followers or whatever, and they're getting
Sure.
booked here and there and whatever. And I think like it's just for me, like I really had a hard time grasping that, and then I had to rewind and like say to myself like, okay, I'm not here for clout, right? Like the reason I started DJing is because I wanted to bring people together and make them feel happy. And I gotta just constantly remind myself, like, hey, this is why I'm playing music. It's not to like gain followers. It's not to do all this, this and that. Like, I just want to bring people together. And that's another reason why I started like my Taiwanese party too, is to bring Taiwanese community together in the US. And just doing that and being able to stay true to myself and then be able to go viral off of that is like the icing on the cake. It's like I did not expect that to happen, but it happened because I am just doing what I want to do without thinking about what other people are going to think about it.
That's powerful. So you, speaking of that party, it's a Taiwanese golden music night, right?
Yeah, go to Melody Night. Yeah.
Go to Melody Night. Tell me about that. Tell me about that event. I hear you're trying
Yeah,
to take it around the world. That you're gonna hit the road
I
singing about it.
am. Yeah, it's very exciting. So I started this project because I myself, as in like immigrants, as someone who was not raised here, um, I when I moved here, I there was definitely a lot of moments where I was homesick. A lot of
Hmm.
moments where I was like, I would go out and I remember I would go out and since I'm a DJ, like I am a lot more well versed in like I guess you could say American music, like the top 40 stuff
Sure.
that's being played in the clubs and bars and but when I was talking like when I invite my friends to these parties, like my Taiwanese friends who have also, like me, had a similar dream. Like they moved here either because they are getting their bachelor's degree or they're like moved here because of better career opportunities and such. When I invite them out to the parties that I play in LA, like they have no clue what's going on. Like,
Sure.
you know, everyone's saying like, all I do is win, win, win. Like, keep your hands up, and like they're like standing around like, what's going on? Because they don't understand,
Sure.
right? And then for me, I was like, that's a little bit like unfortunate, as like they have moved here, they have sacrificed so much to come to this new country, but they don't get a chance to like enjoy the nightlife because there is no space in nightlife for the Taiwanese people here. So I was like, I should bridge this gap. Like, I should be the person who can create the space for Taiwanese people to come together, meet new friends, like, through this space, and just be able to have a piece of home while they're
Mm.
here. So that's what I did. Like, I host these parties and I play strictly like Mando pop, like strictly Mandarin
Awesome.
music that I grew up with in Taiwan. And I look at all these people that come and they know every word. That it's like a karaoke, but they don't even need a screen because they know word to word, like all the songs front to back, and would just like basically sing it out for like 4 hours.
That's
Yeah.
incredible that you've managed to um, build like community and American culture and like it makes sort of like mainstream DJ culture, um,
Hmm.
but that you've really created, a little piece of home for yourself and a little piece of home for your friends and for your people. That's really powerful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've had so much great feedback. Like every time after the event, like people would come up to me and being like, thank you for doing this. Like we get so homesick. And there's people who like meet new friends. And there's people who now like I've done like 3, 4 events now in LA, just in LA. Um,
Amazing.
I've seen people come to every single one. Like I know their faces now. I'm like, oh, you were at the previous 3 parties, and like this is something that they feel very strongly about too. Like I can tell that's why they keep coming back, and this is also why I've decided to take it on tour and be like, oh, like other people in other cities, like they need this too, and I'm here to spread the love. So I'm organizing this tour like all by myself. I'm researching these venues, talking to all these owners, trying to book my own flight tickets, like all of that because this is something I feel very passionate about.
Have you found the industry to be sort of receptive to that? Like when you're talking to venue owners and sort of explaining, your party, are they open? Are they spacious? Are they excited with you?
I think it's half and half. Like I try to partner up with venues that are also like Asian centric or owned by AAPI because I want my money. You know,
Yeah.
I want this party to be something that can uplift the community. Like even if they're not Taiwanese, I
Yeah.
want this business to go to someone who is like a small business or an API owned business so that it's a win-win situation. Like I put them on the map, like more Taiwanese people in that city can know, oh, there's like an API owned bar here and they have
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Asian like infused cocktails or whatever. Like I want that for the venues as well. So it depends. Like if I reach out to these type of venues, they're usually very receptive. Like they love the idea. They say like they tell me they have a lot of Taiwanese friends too. Um, but in some cases where it's like bigger venues like live houses or like franchises or corporations own venues, they're a little less, I guess, like because they're not as informed like
Sure.
about the existence of the Taiwanese community
Right.
in
Right.
their local scene. So they're a little bit more like hesitant, but yeah, like I completely understand that, and that's why I'm here to build that. You know.
That's part of the work too, right?
Exactly.
It's not just about throwing a party and sort of creating space, but like educating along the way. The importance of your community, and
Exactly.
that's really really powerful.
Yeah. Thank you.
It is AA and HPI Heritage Month. Who are some artists that you're feeling inspired by? Who should we be on the lookout for?
Wow, there's a lot right now. I would say like I do want to highlight like artists that are coming out of Taiwan for sure. Like we've had such a great surge of hip hop and R&B artists um in the past, like I would say like 5 years. And there's White, there's so many rappers like Lizzie and there's a really good R&B singer called Shishi, and there's so many of great artists that are like really honing into their craft and sound right now coming out of Taiwan. I think they're definitely the ones to watch out for sure.
That's awesome. What's the mix going to be like? I know you sort of like run the gamut. You can play anything. So like, what's the mix for folks that are sort of being introduced to you as an artist for the first time? What's the sonic? What's on the playlist?
Yeah. So for the playlist, usually I've gone a little bit more of like a chiller route, just because I know like I play like Coachella, EDC, and big stages like that. But like personally, like in my downtime, I just want to like chill out and listen to some like down tempo stuff. I mean, it's still upbeat, but it's like it's something that you can just play when you're lying by the pool or like something
Right.
like that, you know.
Perfect
So
time for it. The weather's starting to change up for it too.
exactly, exactly. So in there, I got some yeah, like dance pop, and I have some like on my piano in there too, and then I put a little R&B in there, like some Taiwanese flair as well. So it's gonna be
Amazing.
something that is like you can listen to on a drive or when you're just making breakfast. Like it's a perfect vibe for that.
Those are my favorite types of sets too. It's just like I love a set that I love obviously a party, a big stage and like lights and all the like carrying on, but I love a set that I can put on when I'm working or when I'm cleaning the
Exactly.
house or I'm just like hanging around reading a book. Like I love something that I can go back to in my daily life over and over and over again.
Exactly, exactly. It's gonna be like you're making breakfast, and then halfway you're like, "Ooh, okay, this beat is sick," and then you like
That's
start
what's
to
up.
dance.
It's just like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah.
I love a little dance party while I'm cooking too, so that's
Hmm.
perfect.
Exactly.
Um, Tell me about. I know you're like sort of known for making like really unique edits of
Mm.
popular songs. Tell me about like your approach when you do that. Like, how do you pick the songs? Like, and like, do you have a favorite that you've done?
Right, right. So I actually like I don't produce too much of the edits. A lot of times, like I am more of like a curator. I make mashups too, but like not. I think I'm more prolific and just like really like highlighting like really good edits in my mixes. Um, I think the most important, I mean, for me, and what I come to realize is that just because these two songs are in the same key doesn't mean they always work
Doesn't
together.
mean they go together. Yeah, I wish
Yeah,
more of the
exactly.
girls understood that. It's still
Yeah.
like I feel like the massive. You know what I feel like changed it? Like hip hop DJs have obviously been doing this like from the beginning of time. Like that is
Yeah.
literally the basis of hip hop. But I feel like the girls got a little bit too crazy when Serato dropped the stems feature. I was just like, yo, not everything goes together.
Exactly. Not everything's got to be an edit. Not everything's going to be a stem transition, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like some songs, I've heard a lot of, like, let's take Sade, for example. I've heard a lot of Sade edits. Sade, like, you have to, there's a groove, there's a certain vibe to it. You can't put a Sade vocal, I mean, on like a tech house beat. I
Right.
mean, I guess you could, but it just
You
doesn't.
should just because you can doesn't mean you should though,
Yeah,
right? Like,
it's like there's a certain vibe though. Like Sade's vocal is so like laid back, and then you can't just like do like oh plus 10 BPM and then put it on
right,
a house beat and
right.
then call it a day, you know? So
Yeah.
in my opinion, it really is about does this vocal right now like fit the vibe of this instrumental? Like are they gelling together? And that's one of my biggest like factors when I'm picking out these songs is like, are these the songs that could be made like in my mind? You know, like would Timbaland approve of this? You know,
That's a very
like
good
that's
litmus test.
yeah, like he's the master, right? Like
Yeah.
for me, like he knows what's up. Like so, for me, I'm like, okay, when I'm listening to these songs, I'm the Timbaland, right? Like I'm the Timbaland of my mix, and so I need to know, like, does this pass the vibe check? Like, is this up there? Like, are these songs gelling together? Like, that's my biggest thing.
That's so funny that you mentioned Timbaland because this weekend I had like the first weekend with like no plans, nothing to do, like to myself, and I went down a rabbit hole of like revisiting Timbaland and Justin Timberlake's work together.
Yeah.
Specifically, this is so just extremely stoner coded, but it just is where I was this weekend. Specifically, like all the beat switching that they did on Future Sex Love Songs and 2020 Experience, and it's just like
Yeah.
what a gut check for you as a DJ to just like, what would Timbaland do? That's a great gut check.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. I just like imagine like myself like being in the studio and be like, would Timbaland say that's dope? Like, you
That
know?
like, would he be nodding his head? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I feel that. I feel that.
exactly.
So, Mish, my final question for you is: if you're sitting down with little baby Mish, who's like practicing her piano, and maybe her parents is playing Bohemian Rhapsody in the background, just sort of thinking about where your life could be. What would you say to her to make sure that she ends up here on Femme House Radio today, talking to me, her mix a lot, and you are DJ Mish, who plays Coachella like it's going out of style, who goes viral off of Dodger Stadium edit moments, and like who's just like out conquering the world one Taiwanese golden melody night at a time.
Yep. Honestly, I would just say like, wow, just keep being you, man, and never change.
That's what's
Because
up.
that's what got me here. And, you know, like, don't let the industry change you. Don't let the bad people change you. Like, there's going to be a lot of those, but
Facts.
you gotta stand your ground. And you gotta just keep on doing what you really believe in and your morals and all the values that your parents taught you. Like, be a good person, you know? Yeah, that's what I would say.
Wise words to end on. Thank you so much for being here on Femme House Radio with us today.
Thank you. It has been great.
Yeah, and thank you for all you do for your community, for your people. Taiwan, stand up. The homegirl got you on her back. Like,
Hell yeah, Taiwan number one. That's what we all say.
that's what's up. All right, I'm her mix a lot, Femme House fam. This is DJ Mish, aka Taiwanese Timberland. That's what I'm gonna call you from now on.
That's a good one.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. That was really fun. I really thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, me too. We